Fees for these BPOs. Banks are doing them, to save a ton of money off full-blown appraisals, anywhere between $400 and $500 per BPO, whether it's interior or exterior. Doesn't matter if it's a rush. You usually get about 8 to 10 days to complete these BPOs, but you need to be hands-on. You can't think that you're just going to hire a construction company that's going to go take your pictures. I don't care if they took 800 pictures of one property, just of the exterior. You're not going to know it well enough to argue with your asset manager about prices. I had a listing last week, a 5-bay, 2,500 square foot, former tire oil change, automotive retail property on an enclosed, fenced-in electric lot, electric fence. The bank listed at $99,000. My BPO was at $37,000. At $37,000, I was the highest price per square foot for any property sold in the last 2 years. I called because I had 5 offers the first day on the market. 4 at $40,000 cash, 1 at $45,000 cash. Without telling my bank, I brought them all to the highest and best. I got up to $50,000 on one of those deals because I needed to know what I had, what my true ammo in my pocket was to go to the bank and to argue with them about the price. I called and I said, hey, George, what's going on with this property? I came in at $37,000. You're at $99,900. Why did you price it like that? He said, well, let me look into it. Puts me on hold for about 5 minutes. I put him on speakerphone. I'm typing on my computer. He said, oh, that's weird. The other BPO came in less than yours. They're at $31,000. I said, well, why'd you guys price it at $99,900? You're not going to sell the property. It's already been completely vandalized. You have an asset that's going to sit there with a reduction of 5% per month for the next couple of years. Eventually, you're going to sell it for 40 grand. All right? But at that time, you're going to be missing all 5 garage doors because they're going to steal them just for the metal. They're going to start stealing anything else that they can get. And your electric fence that's in great condition that I wish I had at my office is going to be gone. I may take it. All right? Within 10 minutes, he called me back, and we accepted the deal at $50,000. All right? I double-dipped it. I knew my market. I knew my asset, and I could argue with him. He said, well, how come it hasn't been trashed out? I said, well, look at your first BPO that I did 6 months ago. I recommended you don't trash out because although it's junk to us, those are used car parts, and there's 2 stolen vehicles in the property. Whoever buys it is going to take those parts off those stolen vehicles and sell them anyway. It's their business. So you need to know. Don't charge. Could I have charged them $4,000 or $5,000 for that trash out? Probably. But I'm going to make it up in the long run. Rekeys. I mean, when you take over a property, whether it's vacant, you're going to have a locksmith. If you have someone on hand, you're paying them $500, $600, $800 a week all year round. That's going to be a fair price for someone who's used to making $25 an hour, who you now knock down to $12 or $15 an hour. They're going to want to work for you because, yeah, they're not making $25 an hour anymore, but they're working all year round. That's a person who basically you need to hire a handyman. To be in this business, to be in commercial REOs, just like in residential REOs for the banks that let you do your property preservation, you need to have someone on hand because some of the bigger banks that I work for with the commercial REOs, I mean, I have up to 42 guys on staff. We've done full-blown renovations, up to $200,000 renovations on some of these commercial buildings because when they loaned $500,000 a couple years ago and now it's only worth $50,000, they'll put $200 into it to sell it for $4. All right, they'll get their money back, and whatever they lost off the previous loan, they'll get back in insurance money. So the point of that is you need to have someone on staff, a handyman, who can do rekeys, who can board up a window, who can take debris out of a property. Up here it shows that I have on trash out, a winterization fee, $125 on that small little building I just sold for $50,000. It probably won't even cost me $125, and I probably won't even charge them $125. It's probably a $75 winterization. Obviously, you don't have them here in California, but you still don't want running water in these pipes. My friend just bought a property in Redondo Beach on the water. He bought a foreclosure. The thing sat vacant for less than 3 months. It was a total demo because of mold that became in the property from leaky pipes. Trash outs. The price, basically, you're going to have to get in touch with local property preservation companies that charge you a price per can. What I mean by can is dumpster, whether it's 30, 40 yards, usually it's $500 for every 30 yards. Pay them a flat fee, and then you'll get reimbursed from your bank. A lot of times you don't make a profit off it. Sometimes when your company has a specific construction or property preservation arm to it, you are able to profit off of that, and that's something that can be extremely lucrative. This fast food franchise that I sold in December for $10,000, I ended up making $2,500 on my commission, but there was a $6,000 trash out there. So that $10,000 property, I made good money on, okay? You need to look at that as extra revenue. That's going to be a new part of your business. If you don't know it now, learn it. If you don't have someone on hand who's handy, get somebody, because it's extremely important, and you will not be able to survive in this business without it. Lawn maintenance, you don't cut the lawn every week. Every 2 weeks is fine. Charge $30, $45 per cut, depending on the size of the property. That's for a small lot. Some commercial properties, you just have a strip the size of these two tables right here. You're not going to charge them $45 for that. It's 2 passes. Charge them $20. We have snow removal. We charge per inch for every time it snows. We can never plan that it's every 2 weeks it's going to snow. It might snow 5 days in a row. But if you're showing those properties, the city's giving tickets because there's snow on the ground. You have other agents showing up in anything from high heels to dress shoes. They're not going to walk through mud. They're not going to walk through snow. They're not going to walk through that stuff. You need to make sure that your property is properly taken care of. And again, general repairs, something you're going to make money off of, and you are going to definitely profit off of having that extra arm of your company. I'm part of the National REO Brokers Association that's more geared for residential agents. I'll tell you tonight that this is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to have a national accreditation behind us to go after these banks, because there's nothing like it right now. I wish I had it a couple years ago, because it would have saved me a lot of grief and aggravation. These banks right now, they have their own BPO forms. Some commercial banks that have done minor loans under $500,000, they just tell you, do whatever you want and just send it to us. Have your 3 comps for sale, have your 3 comps for active, have the tax records, and have the property data sheet. Yes, that's good enough for them. Yes, they get the bottom line price per square foot, but having a joint organization like this, I think we'll all be able to come together and get more listings. We'll all be able to, branch off each other. I heard tonight, Nick said that he's doing a deal in a different state. He's doing a deal in Nevada. It's because it's a recommendation. I know that I can get my banks to come out here and deal with some of you guys. I'm sure some banks that I don't deal with that you do, maybe they have something in Michigan or in Atlanta that I can deal with. We can definitely use this as a benefit to one another, and I think in the long run, once we have a couple CREOBA forms that we all deal with, and that it's a universal form, whether from an industrial property to a retail property. If we come together and do this, I guarantee it's a good thing for all of us.